Hello. So today we're going to talk about how you can document the platforms and the features that are being used to disseminate and influence campaign. So within select channels and affordances, we have digital community hosting asset. So this is where a lot of our social media techniques are housed. So here, anything that ends in platform in the sub techniques is a platform, and everything that does not end in platform is a feature. So we divided the platforms into types rather than listing every single platform because there are too many different types of platforms to document in our framework. Our framework would be huge if we had every single one. So instead, we use types. So, for example, if you were interested in a specific platform, you saw that the campaign you were looking at was on Facebook. You could go to Facebook, and what you would see is that it is actually listed a number of times. So that is because it has a number of different features. So, like I said, if it ends in platform, that's meant to document the actual platform. If it has features, those do not end in platform, but on Facebook you have pages and groups, so those are listed. So let's dive in to what these techniques look like. So at the top, the reason why you can search for different platforms, because those are listed in the summaries, is because we've listed them out. So if you're looking for something in particular, just go into the search bar, type in Facebook or TikTok or X, and the technique that ends in platform will be the one that you're looking for. So we have a summary that includes examples and how we define each of the platform types. Now, another interesting thing to note is that here you won't find like X or Twitter. Um, Typically, the way that we document it is based on the primary use case of a particular platform. So, although something like X can be used to as a social media platform, it was first developed as a microblogging platform, and that is one of the core primary functionalities of that platform. So that's why we have it housed in microblogging platform rather than social media platform. All right, so otherwise, you have a description of the technique and you have incidents for when that particular technique was used. To return to our listing here, um, so these are our social media platforms. But there may be other ways that a campaign is trying to get its information or its influence out there. So here is a listing of the platforms that are predominantly surrendered around communities. But otherwise, you might just have delivery mechanisms. So if it's being delivered by content recommendation algorithms, that means the campaign is trying to use the algorithms of these social medias to feed it to people. But other mechanisms of delivery might be that they're direct messaging people, that they're sending emails, that they're advertising to people. So this pertains to how it is being disseminated. Um, Otherwise, we have platforms that are a bit less social and community focused. So digital content hosting assets here provides a list of those. So for example, audio platform, you can think something like SoundCloud, those types of platforms. So these are places where people predominantly just put their content out there. There may be interactivity features, but that isn't the main aim of the platform. So that's where you can document the less social platforms that are in use, where people are just putting up videos, audio, um, etc. Otherwise, if you know a bit about how your the content was being created by a particular campaign and what platforms might have been in use there, you can document which LLMs or AI media platforms in digital content creation asset. And finally, if something is taking place outside of the online environment. You have traditional media, newspaper, radio, TV, as well as formal diplomatic channels. All right, so hopefully that was clear. Thanks for your time.